Day 1 of NBA 2K24 doesn't matter. I've already found the best PG build in the game for Park, Pro-Am, and Rec. This is the build that my PG is going to be using in Pro-Am on a comp level. Let's hop straight into the build. So we're going to quickly go through the attributes and the badges for this build. Keep in mind the badge system is completely different than last year. There's no more core badges, there's no more badge points, there's no more badge layouts, all of that is gone. Basically every badge that you meet the requirements for, you will unlock on bronze immediately, and then to get silver, gold, and Hall of Fame, you'll actually have to work your way through the badges and earn them. You can actually lose badges as well this year. We're not sure exactly how well that's going to work. We're not sure if you're going to lose badges after a game, 2 games, 10 games. We're not sure how strict or how lenient it'll be as far as gaining or losing badges quite yet. But I think the new system is cool. I think it's going to give some more flexibility, and it's really going to kind of mold around your playstyle. So that's cool. Keep in mind this build does not have any driving dunk. If y'all want to see the PG build with driving dunk, get this video to 50 likes and I'll drop it ASAP. This build is just purely a sharp shooting playmaker with a little bit of defense and a slight amount of finishing. But 75 driving layup, we still get gold Giant Slayer. Pretty good badge last year. Not sure how good it'll be this year. Pretty good badge though. We got Slithery, Acrobat, Bunny, Float Game, Pro Touch, Scooper, Whistle. I'm really excited to see that Whistle badge. I think it might be a little overpowered. Hopefully not, for the sake of these pure slashers. They're not going to go and slam and ones and they get another, 8,000 points from free throws. But I think that this badge, in theory, should be cool. There's not going to be so much of that just jumping at shooters. Hopefully this will cut out some of those late jumps that count as an 80% contest with no foul. I don't like that for the game, whether it's in any mode. I think it's kind of corny. But we'll see if that badge plays out at all, if it's any good. But you do get gold Whistle on this build. We got the 81 mid-range for the blinders and the Deadeye. Fading middies did get a bit of a buff this year. Fading threes got a bit of a nerf. Actually, I think I heard it was a pretty significant nerf to fading threes. But regardless, we went with that 96 3 ball. We get Gold Agent 3. Last year, a 96 3 ball was actually Hall of Fame Agent 3. This year, it's only gold. Limitless range is still at a 99 3 ball, but to get gold limitless range this year, you need a 96 instead of a 92. So that's a nice little jump up for shooters. You have to kind of put a little more attributes into this to have the gold limitless range. But here's some of the new badges that I think are pretty cool. Spot Finder sounds like a pretty good catch and shoot, kind of off screen, whatever it may be, off ball movement shooting badge. I think even as a point guard, this could have some use with the rebounding. The center catches the ball, tosses it back to the point guard off the Spot Finder. I think that could be pretty nasty, not gonna lie. The badge that I'm most excited to see, and I really hope it works well, is the Open Looks badge. Basically, it just increases your chance to make open jump shots. I think it actually says wide open. I don't know if that'll count as just open or wide open, if it actually has to be wide open. But regardless, this badge sounds really OD. I'm really excited to see this. I really hope it's a good badge. I like seeing open looks get rewarded more than just timing. I think that having to green a shot is cool, but I also really like to see that whenever someone's open, they get rewarded very, very highly. I want to see those shots go in more. So this badge sounds pretty cool, especially for this build with that high 96 3 ball. 80 pass accuracy. I'm torn on this. In the past, I always went with pretty high pass accuracy on all my point guards, shooting guards. I really like to pass the ball. This year, to get bronze bailout, you need an 87, which is, if you don't know your math, that's 7 more points than what we have it on. I have heard that bailout is not as good, or at least it's not as needed as it used to be. We'll kind of have to wait and see if that's true throughout the cycle of all of the game modes, Rec and Pro-Am. As people kind of learn the game, they get better, they get their badges higher. I feel like bailout might be needed a little bit more than early, but as of right now, I don't think it's needed on your build. You still get Silver Dimer, Special Delivery. You get the new Relay Passer badge, which sounds pretty cool. We got 95 ball handle. This is where the bread and butter of this build's going to be. Dribbling looks pretty good this year. It looks a little stiff at first, but once you start to get the hang of it, dribbling is nasty in this 2K. It really is. Blow by on gold. We're going to have killer combos, Hall of Fame handles for days, Hall of Fame speed booster, gold unpluckable, triple strike on Hall of Fame, whatever that means for you. And ankle breaker is actually going to be on your build, at least on bronze. So we might see a little bit more ankle breakers this year, possibly. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do think that the playmaking badges are really, really juiced for this build. 91 speed with ball. The only reason we have this on is for our speed booster and our blow by. I think the speed with ball attribute itself is not really that important, but it does get tied to your badges now. So you have to have speed with ball to get blow by, speed booster, hyperdrive, even hyperdrive. So you kind of got to have it on this year. The attribute itself is still probably not very good, but you just got to have it. If you want the best playmaking badges, you got to have speed with ball this year. We have 51 interior defense, which I'm sure goes absolutely stupid on a 6'3". It kind of just is leftover attributes. We do have 72 perimeter defense, though. We actually have a little bit of defense on this build. We won't have any steal, but we do have bronze challenger, bronze fast feet, bronze workhorse, bronze ankle braces. So decent badges to have on a 6'3" PG off rip. That challenger will be kind of nice for these small guards to have a little bit better chance of getting contest on the taller people in the corner or whoever you're guarding as a small guard. So on this build, we have 86 speed and 93 acceleration. The acceleration is going to be really important. It was last year. It's not going to be any different this year, especially even more so. It's now tied to blow by, speed booster. You've got to have it on a high level to get these badges on Golden Hall of Fame. So really important there. And something kind of interesting cool this year is that we have Hall of Fame handles for days on the PG pretty easily. Last year, most people ran it on silver or gold. And especially with the adrenaline changes where you only lose adrenaline on getting bumped, Hall of Fame handles for days is going to let you dribble for a freaking long time. Especially if you're not getting bumped and ramming into the defender over and over, you're going to be able to dribble a long time and really get to those really good looks. Will this be good for the lifespan of the game where people can maybe dribble a little bit longer than last year? We'll have to wait and see, but I think this is pretty cool. For you personally as a point guard, this is going to be nice to have on Hall of Fame. So you may have already seen this in the intro, but this build is called a 3-point shot hunter. I think this is actually probably one of the cooler build names this year. They've added a lot of new cool build names that kind of just spice things up. Do the build names matter for gameplay? No, but it just feels cool, man. Okay, I'm tired of seeing inside-out playmaker. That's all you saw last year. It was all these 6'9" inside-out playmakers. 3-point shot hunter. This build name is sick. The shades are really cool. Steve Nash, Trae Young, Steph Curry. So I'm going to quickly go over the badge perks because I think these are actually really important for the builds this year. They haven't really had a ton of talk about them. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I know there's some people that are still a little confused on how these are going to work. Eventually, you'll be able to run all 4 of these at once, which means that you'll be able to have 4, 8, 12, 16 badges all affected by a badge perk, but as you can see, each one of these only has 1 slot per tier of badge. That was a mouthful to say. So you'll have 4 C tiers, 4 Bs, 4 As, and 4 S badges all affected in different things. So for example, overdrive. I'm not going to get into the description of how you earn it. You can read it right there. But basically, badges that are in the overdrive perk will receive faster badge progression, so you'll earn those badges quicker. So let's just say, for example, you're having a badge like handles for days. It's taking a little while to level it up. This is probably not the best example because this is actually a pretty easy badge to level up. But for whatever reason, let's say you're having a tough time leveling up handles for days. You go and put that in the overdrive category, and now you're going to earn faster badge progress for handles for days. But as you can see, it says S tier, which means that we can only have 1 of our S tier badges in that slot. So I have to pick out of these, 12 badges, which one I want to put into my overdrive for S tier. And the same for A, B, and C. Hopefully that made sense. It's just a quick little overview of how these work. Eventually, you will be able to have all 4 of these on at the same time. I think these are actually really nice, especially for the whole regression stuff. I don't love the idea of losing badges yet. I think that with time, it may not be a huge deal, especially with all these badge perks to help you level up stuff faster, to keep badges from dropping. They even have the floor setters in the season pass where a badge will not ever be able to drop below silver or gold. We'll be able to earn 1 of these for silver and gold each season. So that's going to be pretty cool. I think there's going to be tons of ways to keep our badges from dropping, but it's just, as a player, having the idea of more grind just always turns me off. So we'll have to see how it plays out, but I think with these badge perks, I think it's all going to be just fine. All right, so here's the best part about this build. Basically, for the longevity and the lifespan of this 2K, there will probably hardly be any dribble animations that you will be locked out of. As you can see, the only 2 things that you will not have access to is the Steph Curry dribble style and the Trae Young dribble style. Everything else is unlocked, and I basically mean everything. Every dribble style, every signature size up, every behind the back, everything you're going to have access to eventually. These all say locked, but locked is good. That just means that you don't have the attribute you need yet. You will eventually. Restricted means that you'll never have access to that animation on the build. So as you can see, these are all locked for signature size up. They're all locked for regular breakdowns. I can go on and on. Aggressive breakdowns, they're all locked, which means that we're going to have access to basically every single dribble move in the game, and we probably will for most of the 2K lifespan. The only thing they could really add now that we wouldn't have access to is basically some crazy high, like 98 plus ball handle animation. And I really highly doubt that they're going to ever add something that high for dribbling. They might, but I highly doubt it. So I mean, again, I'm just scrolling through, just showing you every animation you want access to or that you would ever want to try. You'll be able to try it with this build. You know, one of my favorite parts about 2K24, I might be in the minority on this, but look at all these brown shirts. It's like Christmas morning. We're all getting up in our jammies. Gonna go see what's under the Christmas tree. And the Christmas tree, you wanna know what's under it? It's the builder. It's all the new builds in the game, all the new badges, all the new animations. That's our gift. Unfortunately, we all have to look very ugly while we look at this stuff on our hideous attire, but it almost brings a tear to my eye. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more 2K24 content, Pro-Am videos, and the best builds all coming in the next few days, weeks, months, whatever. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. It's TM Jev, and I'm out.